What up, traders? How you're doing? I hope you're doing great. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video, I am doing a full breakdown of some few setups I shared with my community. This setup played out perfectly. We banged about 5 to 6%. So I would like to break it down so that you get to also understand how we took it or what I saw before I even took the trade, right? And before we even dive into the chart, one thing that I want you guys, the viewers of this channel, to understand is that I am personally not just trading charts. I am trading with purpose. I am trading with faith. I am trading according to the will of God. So aside the chart breakdown, what I would also like to share is one spiritual principle that helped transform how I view the market, and even how it helped with this setup that I took. I would like to break it down. So without wasting my time, I want to keep this video simple, straightforward, powerful, and as it is. So let's just jump into it. Yeah, so let's begin by looking at what I shared with my community. This was 7th of May. So in the morning, I just looked at two pairs. I looked at GBP USD and I also looked at GBP JPY. So with GBP USD, this is what I saw. I was expecting price to at least push to the upside. That is only if we break these highs, and I'll show it to you right here. So I said a possible continuation to the upside, entry only when price breaks out of the flag pattern. So until this is being broken, until we broke out of this, there is no entry. If price drops, then I'm not interested, but if we break out, that is when I'll be looking for entries, right? And then the second pair that I looked at was GBP JPY. This was also the setup. Here I was expecting price to also push to the upside, and with this also I gave when I'll be looking for entries as well. So right here I made mention that 4H corrective, I wanted to mark these words down. Corrective, right? So I said 4H corrective, pullback to the previous. The second word I want you to put down is the demand zone. So corrective and demand zone, right? So my entry will be a break of the lower high of the pullback. So literally this one, if we break above this level right here, then I'll be looking for buying opportunities. So that was it. But also take note of the last thing that I said patience greater than impulse, right? I will come to that later. Now that I've shown you the two setups that I share with the community, let's jump on the chart and see how it played out. All right, so let's start with the first pair, that is GBP USD. This is the daily time frame, and as you can clearly see, we are on a bullish trend. Price is creating higher highs and higher lows, right? Looking to my left, this is a resistance right here. Price melted in the past, and that is exactly where we are right now. So is price gonna drop? I don't know, you don't know, we will just follow the market. But looking at what I saw before I sent that analysis, this was it. So obviously I spotted this resistance at this level, but just following the structure, even though there was a resistance, we were still bullish because we were still creating. This was a higher high, it was a higher low. Price broke this high, created a new higher high, and this high, this low was not broken, right? So if you look at this low was not taken out, so we were still on a bullish trend, right? So right here I saw price just consolidating or correcting at that level. So look at this was a very corrective structure. You can call it triple bottom or whatever you want to call it, but price rejected the first time, second time, third time. We were just consolidating, and we had a breakout right here out of this level. So this was an impulsive break, and then I saw a retracement. So this is what I saw when I woke up, and I was like, you know what, I'll get in the very moment I see price breaking above this high. The very moment we do this, then I'll be looking for buying opportunities for a continuation either to this level or finally breaking out to continue the overall trend. But that is not what price did. Price dropped, which means I wasn't able to get in, right? So I avoided a loss simply because I was looking for one particular thing, and that is not what I saw. So I didn't take the trade. I was patient enough to wait for what I was waiting for, and it didn't materialize. So this was a loss that was avoided. So yeah, let's go to the second pair, GBP JPY. We have a very nice trend. Is a higher high, higher low. Keep on creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So since we are on an uptrend, obviously we'll be looking for buying opportunities on this time frame, but any time frame lower than this, such as the 1 hour 15 minutes, we can be looking for selling opportunities, that is trading the pullbacks, but overall structure is up. So this was a major high, a major low and then a major high, and then we had a retracement back to this level of support or demand, right? So as it stands, as long as this low is not being broken, we are still on an uptrend looking for buying opportunities. But if you look at what I sent in my group, I made mention of corrective, right? We had a support zone or a demand zone, and then price was getting there correctively. This is something I always talk about on this channel. How market or how price gets to a level, how we approach a level is very important. Are we getting there impulsive or we are getting there corrective? This was a very corrective structure to this level, right? So what I sent in the group was, I am waiting for the previous lower high to be broken. That was this one. It looks like price broke it. Yes, obviously we had a candle closing above this level, but I wanted, a better break, right? Because if I go on the 4H, this is not a break. This is just a wick right here. You take a look at this, right? This was not a break, it was a wick. So I wanted a clear break such as this one. So as you can see, we had a smooth break right here. This is when I was like, you know what I am waiting for has materialized, because even looking at this, we had an impulse, correction, and then price impulse. So this would have been a trade that could have been taken just at the break of this flag pattern, but price shot to the upside. So we now have a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price came back again. So there is this Fibonacci levels that I use. I'm gonna show you how this entry was taken at this level. So the Fibonacci level that I use personally is the 0.71 and then the 0.79 zone. That is this level, right? So price just pulled back into that zone, tapped into the zone, and then immediately just pushed to the upside. So once we got into the zone, started pushing to the upside, this was an entry for me. And then you can see the price just moved. Look at the entry, the stop loss, and then the target is all the way at this level. But even looking at where price is trading right now, this is like 1:6 risk reward ratio. So this was, I would say, a very simple or a straightforward setup, but there is a lot that went into this, such as waiting for whatever I was looking for to materialize, right? And that is what I want to talk about. Let's talk about patience. I've been talking about trading psychology, technical analysis, risk management, and so on this channel. But there is another aspect that I want to expose you to that has really kept me going when it comes to, this trading industry, that is blending biblical principles with forex trading. All right, so let's talk about patience. Patience is a spiritual principle in life. If you are very impatient, it will lead to bad decisions. In the book of James chapter 1 verse 4, I read, "But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing." Let me just give this example. In life, no matter how fast you want something, God has designed a system that requires us to wait. No matter how fast a pregnant woman wants a baby, she will not deliver a baby the very next day she gets pregnant. She has to be patient. It's a must. Whether she's impatient or not, she has to be patient. Same as the farmer. If the farmer wants to harvest whatever he has planted, he is not going to plant today and harvest tomorrow. He has to be patient for the crops to be ready for harvest. So as a trader, that is the same habit you have to cultivate on the chart, right? Once you get on the chart, there should be something that alerts you that, hey, this is ready. With a pregnant woman, when it's time for her to deliver, there are signs and symptoms that tells her that, hey, the baby is coming out, such as the water breaking or whatever, contractions, whatever. The farmer will go to the farm and, they have a way of seeing that, okay, the fruit is ready, it's edible now, let's, harvest it and go and sell, or let's go and eat. The same thing that you want to have on the chart as a trader. You should be able to look at the chart and tell yourself, you know what, I'm not getting in until I see this. Once I see this, it means that, it's time for me to get in. Having patience will prevent you from taking unnecessary losses. It will prevent you from rushing in too early. Patience will protect your peace, your capital, and your confidence. I have personally seen this in my trading journey. The times that I waited for price to confirm, respected structure, didn't rush in, those were some of my best trades. By the times that I just rushed in, That is when I pay tuition to the market. For those of you who are not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do so, because this is something that I spoke about recently in one of my videos, and I'm going to repeat it here again. I said on my Instagram that if you read Isaiah 40 verse 31, it says, "They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings like an eagle." In trading terms, it just means that those that wait on high probability setups shall renew their edge. The key word is wait. When you wait is when you get renewal. The second thing that you want to ask yourself is, what are you waiting for? The Bible says, "They that wait upon the Lord." So we know that they are waiting upon the Lord. But as a trader, what are you waiting for? Do you know exactly what you are waiting for? You should know that, okay, this is what I want to see. Once I see the market breaking this level, it means it's game time. Patience can be perfectly exercised if you know exactly what you are waiting for. This is an example that I mostly give my mentees or my students or whatever, that you know what, if you are being told, and I think I've even said this on this channel before, that if you are being told to go outside and wait for the car without any specifications, how are you gonna even be patient to wait? Because what are you waiting for? The car? Which car? So you're gonna be standing there for hours, seeing so many cars passing by. You don't know exactly what you are being told to wait for. But if you are being told, go outside and wait for that black car with pink rims, then you know that, okay, there are specifications. So even if it's going to take you the whole day to wait for that specific car, you will exercise patience to wait, because you know exactly what you are waiting for. That is the same principle you want to apply to the chart. A lot of traders, they can predict the market. Okay, the market is going to go up. Daily bias is to the upside. We are looking for buying opportunities. Yes, but they lack confirmation. They lack exactly when to get in. That is what they lack. That is why I do have this YouTube channel, just to share insights on how to trade, and even my Telegram community, sharing insights and education so that you can become a better trader going forward. So if I should take you back to my Telegram community, you can see that I said patience over impulse, patience over impulse. And I stated what I want to see before I get in, right? Entry only when price breaks out of the flag pattern. That was one. It didn't happen. So yeah, we didn't take that. But the second, a break of the lower high on the impulse will initiate a move to the upside. So we are just waiting for a break of the lower high. That is what we are waiting for. I personally believe you got something from this video. You heard me, and I'm satisfied because this has been on my heart the whole week, and I wanted to share this with my people. Remember, I said that we are not just trading charts, we are trading with purpose. We are trading God's way. And patience is one of the fruit of the spirit. So as a kingdom trader, you must be governed by principles. You must practice exactly what you read. Do well to subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on Instagram, because I'll be sharing a lot of insights that will help your trading journey. And until next time, peace.